Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of VinTalks, where we have some very inspiring women from the city of Mysore. Joining us today is Miss Vidya Baliga, who has 35 plus years of experience in the electronics industry. Let's hear her story. In this episode, we will deep dive into Vidya's journey, her accomplishments, and the challenges she has overcome. Before we get ready to be inspired and motivated, let's get to know her. Vidya Baliga is a highly accomplished supply chain professional from the city of Mysore. Born and raised in Surathkal, a vibrant town near Mangalore, she grew up in a secure, friendly, and nurturing environment. Her father, Dr. R.S. Shanbag, was a professor at KREC, now known as NITK, and later served as the first principal of Canara Engineering College and retired as the director. Her mother, Vita Shanbag, is a BSc graduate and a homemaker who has written several books in Konkani, Kannada, and English languages. Vidya completed her schooling in Kendriya Vidyalaya and later completed her Bachelor's of Engineering from KREC Surathkal in 1987 and was ranked 4th in the university. After considering the pros and cons of teaching versus working in the industry, she chose the latter and joined HPB in Mysore. Later, she worked at Bell's Controls in multiple departments and simultaneously completed her postgraduate diploma in materials management from IIMM. Vidya's career took off when she joined L&T as a manager in 2009 and climbed up to being the head of procurement at L&T TS by the time of her superannuation in June 2023. Vidya is married to Ravi Baliga, an electrical engineer from MIT Manipal, and has two children. Son Navneet, along with his wife, are presently working in London, and daughter Nidhi, who moved to Australia to pursue her postgraduate studies. Vidya's parents and in-laws have been instrumental in supporting her career by taking care of her children while she worked. Having experienced a successful career for 35 plus years and now, with her children grown up, Vidya wants to spend her retirement phase meaningfully by pursuing her hobbies and doing her bit towards giving back to the society. Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Vidya. And I was so looking forward to talk to someone from our very own EMS industry and someone who has been in procurement and the supply chain segment. It's very, very rare to find a woman who has climbed up the ladder to where you have reached and to have a conversation with you about the same and learn so much from you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I should thank you, Deepashree, for giving me this opportunity to get featured on your podcast series. So thanks a lot, and I am looking forward to this show.
Before we, dive deep into your career and what you've done, let's talk to you about your childhood. And you're from a very nice, wonderful place. When I was going through your profile, you said it's the place where they make ice creams.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
talk to you more about your childhood and how your entire childhood in Surathkal has helped shape your present.
I was, born and brought up in Surathkal, which is 18 kilometers away from Mangalore. And Karnataka Regional Engineering College was established in the 1960s.
Okay.
My father, who was an electrical engineer working in the KB, decided to join this great institution as a lecturer in electrical department.
Okay.
So, like all other families of teaching fraternity, we were also staying in this big campus.
Wow.
And This was a wonderful, beautiful campus where we could find unity in diversity.
Okay.
You know, people were from different cultural backgrounds, multilingual, from different faith and ethnicity.
Okay.
So I think it was a great place to live. And, you know, right from my childhood to my teenage, to my adolescence, teenage, young adulthood, I think I have spent in this wonderful campus,
Uh-huh.
which, you know, has shaped my personality to a great extent. And I did my schooling up till the second standard in the local, in the English medium school that was situated in the campus. Later on, a Kendriya Vidyalaya was established in Mangalore Port Trust campus, which was 10 kilometers away from our campus.
Okay.
So, children had an opportunity to join this institution as well on clearing the maths and the Hindi test.
Oh.
Because, you know, we had learned Kannada in our English medium school, right?
Yeah.
So, Kendriya Vidyalaya, we had to learn Hindi. So, I remember my dad teaching me Hindi during the holidays.
Okay.
So, a group of us had joined this great institution, and it was great fun because we spent most of our school days, you know, right from second standard till the high school by going to this school. And, you know, we had to travel by the local buses. You know, we did not have school bus like the current times. So, we had to go by the local buses, which was you know, a task by itself. Though I can say it was pleasurable, sometimes painful,
Okay.
but it was great fun. And, you know, we had to walk to the school, which was quite a distance from the bus stand, munching something on the way, buying, you know, small things like children eat, right?
Yes.
So, these are some of the memories that I have of my school life. And the teachers, you know, were very affectionate but stern, very dedicated. And, you know, we had a great time learning, and lot of equal importance was given to our studies as well as the extracurricular activities and to the sports.
Okay.
And to sports. So, you know, we had a roundabout, I mean, it was a good holistic, holistic personality development that was, you know, given importance to.
Yes.
So, we as children, you know, we were a big group of children from the campus. So, we used to play all kind of field games, you know.
Okay.
I don't think the children of these times would have heard of it also.
Uh-huh.
You know, the Marakoti, Lagori, you know, cricket, and then hopscotch, you know, old time games, as I can say. And then we had a small stream running in our campus, in a part of the campus.
Okay.
You know, we had a long rainy season there, right? So, we used to do fishing there, which was one of the most talked about, you know, activity even now when we meet.
Okay.
And then after that, my father went to IIT Kanpur to do his doctorate. So, I moved to IIT Kanpur Kendriya Vidyalaya, did my 9th and 10th there. It was a little overwhelming for me at that point of time because a girl from a small place, you know, moving to a bigger city, a bigger school with lot of pomp and show, and, you know, there the style was a little different, you know. But still I learned, you know, to manage and adapt to that school life. And then we came back to Suratkal, like to do my PUC, like Govinda's college was a college in Suratkal,
Okay.
and it was a very popular college among all the children of our campus. So yeah, so we studied there. The teachers were really great, you know, in teaching us subjects, and you know, we did not have the need for any coaching classes, unlike the current times.
Yes.
But still, our professors from KREC, they used to conduct just before the exams, you know, they used to conduct on an honorary basis, you know, for maths, chemistry, physics, you know, they used to take some classes so that we could get our doubts cleared. So that was very nice initiative from the teaching faculty of KREC. And then, you know, that after that, you know, a bunch of us, you know, engineering was just emerging as an option for the girls in 1983.
Wow. Okay.
And then a bunch of us decided, no, that we will do engineering.
Okay.
And then, you know, we were lucky enough to get a seat in KREC, and we studied, and I passed out in 87.
Okay.
But, you know, the time that you spent, you know, I still remember the long walks at the beach that we used to have, after the college hours, which was very relaxing and de-stressing, the cool breeze or the warm breeze,
Yes.
and the playful sea during summers, and watching movies in the open air theater, which was screened every Saturday or before a holiday, were things to look forward to, because this was the era of, pre-television,
Yeah.
which had not come into our lives, right?
Okay.
So this was one sort of entertainment that we had in the campus, but we really looked forward to such simple pleasures of life. And whenever we would meet anybody, like uncle and auntie, as we would address the parents of other children, we would wish them, and they would be nice enough to speak to us a few sentences, talk to us or ask us some riddles or questions, something, which would make us feel very happy, saying that, they are speaking to us, right? So this is how I was born, and this is how I was brought up in the campus, and this was our life in the campus. And, once we came to college, we had the liberty of going to Mangalore after our exams. Parents would allow us, okay. So we would go to Mangalore, watch a movie in the theater, and then go to Ideals to eat gadbad. Okay, this was one of our favorite ritual, I should say. Yes, one of the favorite rituals, and it is still, those memories are to be cherished. And I think this was the golden time of my life, because we are young minds. Very impressions are, can be created very quickly, and that left a deep impression on my mind. On a hindsight, if I think of it, I think the way we were brought up, the way we interacted with the friends, and the fun times that we had, and the values that we learned unknowingly or knowingly from the teachers, because seeing is how you learn something, not by telling, So I think that has shaped my personality, and, my values. I have developed my values, like, some of them being respecting other religions, considering others, acceptance, honesty, gratitude, honesty, and friendship. I think some of the values that I have imbibed, during this time, and which is still, I feel are
there within you.
There with me and to be treasured.
Absolutely. I think the one thing that I've realized from, whatever we've just said, is the childhood that you lived to what we are living, what we lived, and I think the future generation, what either my future is going to see, is going to be so different.
Yes.
And the memories that have been etched within you to what I think we carry, say, probably at least 20% of what you have experienced, but that won't be the same with our future.
True.
And it's very rare that we're going to see something that's going to be inculcated as value systems that you spoke about, which I'm sure you've imbibed in every aspect of your life, including, say, your professional, personal, and on all lines that, you just spoke about. Talking on the same lines, you've taken up very much different roles when you were in Bell's Controls, and then you moved into completing your postgraduate diploma in material management. And I'm sure there was a zeal within you that from an engineer to something completely different, materials management, which forms like the basic backbone of REMS industry or any industry per se. What is it that you would want to say that it is important to upgrade your knowledge, or how has it helped you in, professionally or personally in any front?
After getting married, when I moved to Mysore, I joined ABB, and it was earlier HVB.
Okay.
And due to the merger with Asia, they were shifting their factory to Bangalore.
Okay.
So we had then decided to stay back in Mysore. So I got an opportunity to work in bells controls.
Okay.
So I joined as a GET, and I was first put in the manufacturing division,
Okay.
where I had opportunity to, interact with the other functions like the QA, QC, fabrication shop and, export. And, that is where I learned the ropes of this manufacturing. And then there was a break, there was a requirement in the materials department
Okay.
there. So I thought it's a good chance to learn something new there. So I took this opportunity, and I joined that team and slowly learned the, tricks of the trade, as you can say, or, learned what
Yes.
is required, because it was totally different from what I was doing.
Yes.
And during that time, Indian Institute of Materials Management had established an office here in Mysore, a chapter in Mysore.
Okay.
And somebody introduced me to this chapter.
Okay.
So I was a regular member to this Mysore chapter to attend all their sessions. So I used to meet lot of materials professionals from different industries.
Okay.
So this, gave me a lot of contacts and, the understanding. And slowly, they also came out with two courses for the materials professionals.
Okay.
That was, so I thought it was a good opportunity for me to learn something new in the field where I'm working.
Yes.
So I took up, my son was small then, but, I went ahead and, took up this opportunity. And it was a long course, 30 subjects, 6-semester course, But still, I managed, with the help of my family, I managed to work and complete this course. And then I decided that this is the field, that I think I can establish myself as a professional. And, I learned many things in the process of doing this course as well. Time management, and the dynamics of the market, logistics, inventory control, interpersonal relationships. Okay. All these things, I think I learned, and I'm still learning. It's not that I've learned, but I'm still learning. But I thought I can establish myself in this field, was my thought process at that point of time. So I think then I looked for some opportunities in the similar field, and I have continued. I continued working, yes.
Wonderful. On the same lines, it is quite commendable to see that you have 35 plus years of experience in this field, and that's a large time during your career. And you started off as a manager at L&T TNS, and then you ended your career in this segment as a procurement head. How was that journey of yours? And you have been playing a very vital role. I think you have seen pre-COVID, you have seen COVID,
Yes.
and you have seen post-COVID,
Yes.
because you had your retirement very recently.
Yeah, true.
And you've seen all the three phases.
Yeah.
So give us an insight about how it was before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. What was it that, really challenged your experience of these many years?
I joined L&T in 2009, and pre-COVID, it was, we did not realize what challenges we would face in the supply chain, and our vendor partners were always there for us, I should say.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And typically, we are not a manufacturing company, so we did not have the regular problems of supply chain. But yes, we did a lot of purchasing for our, hardware projects. But, as I said, our vendor partners were helping us out on this. COVID, I don't know, it was the nightmare, I think, for all of us.
Yes.
And it was a period of setback, challenges, personal grief, and lot of heartaches, I think, for people across the globe. And every, profession had a challenge of their own. More so, the supply chain professions also had challenges due to the disruption in the supply chain at every stage. It was at sourcing the raw material, the components, running the production line as per the schedules and logistics, delayed the ports. So to name some of them, the major ones, So yes, we did seek help from wherever we could, it could be from the other vendors or from our customers or, wherever we could find some help in getting some clue for sourcing some important components. That was the only way, because otherwise it was very difficult, and I'm sure everybody has gone through this phase. Post-COVID, when slowly the supply chain problem started easing out, and now it's much better than what we had faced then, So it was a nightmare for the supply chain professionals.
For sure.
Yes, definitely.
I absolutely agree with you that, we faced our own, but I think your team has been very supportive of ours in many ways. And like I said, the supply chain team and the procurement team on the whole is the backbone to any industry. With your 35 years plus experience in this field, I'm sure you had some very, very memorable moments.
Yeah.
We would love to hear them. So share a few with us.
Yeah, I think 35 plus long years of, career, I think we will definitely have a bag full of experiences. It could be happy, it could be sad, it could be not so pleasant, it could be funny. It could be all sorts of experiences, That's what has made us what I am today. Okay. But, what happens is at the end of your career, when you look back on those memories, whatever kind of memories, they still become a set of sweet memories which you tend to cherish.
Yes.
Okay. So some of them would have been foolish, some of them could be prankish, some of them could have been silly, But still, during my initial years, I still remember the way we would sneak out of the department when the boss was not looking at us was the most hilarious one that I can recollect, No, I think it's silly, but
it was fun back
then. It was fun back then, okay?
Yeah.
And bonding with the colleagues over lunchtime or over a tea break, as we spend most of our time in the offices, So they are a kind of support that, that we look for sometimes in sharing our sorrows and joys.
You spend almost 8 hours.
8 hours, and these days we spend almost 10 to 11 hours we were spending in the office. So best part of the day we would spend in the offices, no complaints. I have enjoyed working.
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it, yes. But still, what happens, the support system are our colleagues, Good colleagues can, really give you a boost.
Absolutely.
And, Mysore being famous for Dasra and Ayudha Puja, decorations, decorating for the Ayudha Puja. With something to look forward to, that was the cultural events that, the company would hold. All these events have very fond memories, and, they are happy memories for me at this point of time. Last year, we had an off-site meet at Baroda.
Okay.
And after the official engagements, me and my colleagues decided to go and see Statue of Unity.
Oh, wow.
Okay, because that was constructed by L&T.
Yes.
And, we wanted to go and see that. And then we went around Ahmedabad. That was one of the memorable trips that I had with my colleagues. And lot of sweet memories.
Yes.
And as I retired in June, my colleagues and teammates left no stone unturned to give me a warm, lovely, send off, in many forms. It was a picnic, it was a breakfast meal, it was a tea break, it was a dinner at a hotel with other colleagues, name it. And it was great fun, and it was very memorable for me. I think these moments I will always cherish in my life.
Very subtly you've given us one very, very important thought, that teamwork and having a good set of people to work with is really important to wake up every day and get to work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely true, Deepashree, because you need that motivation to go to office, It could be something. So if you have a motivation, you will always look forward to
Yeah.
going there
Yes.
so that you are able to give your best.
Yes.
And you get a satisfaction at the end of the day,
That you've done
something good.
That's such a wonderful learning that, we've gotten out of you for the years that you've spent. It's very rare lately to build such wonderful bonds within a team and within organizations. But I think that's something that we'll all take back with us, and all of us, those of us who are going to view this, are going to learn something out of this for sure. You spoke to us about when, your son was a very small child is when you took up your post-graduation. I want to understand, how did you balance your career and your personal life? And you're someone who, when we were talking a few minutes back, you told me that, I was getting out of the house like this, like at 9 I would be out. How is that balance that, you struck amidst all this?
Yeah, I think I owe my career to my in-laws who have supported me during the initial years.
Okay.
And to my family as well, because at each stage of my career, there was somebody to support me. Without the family support, I think it would have been very difficult to, carry on for this long years. So when my son was small, there was my in-laws were there, so they were managing the home front. My husband also was very cooperative. He was managing my son's school and related activities in case I was not free to go to the school.
Okay.
There is a difference of 9+ years between my children.
Okay.
So our parenting thing took a little longer for us, because once my son grew up, my daughter was small.
Yes.
So then my parents stepped in, and my father, being a teacher by profession,
Yes.
He taught my son when he was in second PUC. He used to give him a lot of mock tests. So, kind of it helped him, prepare himself.
Yes.
My daughter was a different ball game altogether. So, the family support, at each and every stage, I think that is the biggest support that I have found. A very cooperative family, and even the neighbors, sometimes, if we needed some help, neighbors would pitch in at times, So I think it is good to have, good relationship, with your neighbors, with your family members, who will help you out, It doesn't mean it's a one-way relationship, it's a two-way relationship, okay? It's a give and take. And though I was, working for long hours, cooking was my passion. So whenever I would come home, I would whip up some tasty meals for my children, to compensate for all the things, So as the children grew up, they were also very understanding, and they adjusted well to a working mom, and they will also do small household chores to help us out, in the process. So one day I remember I was working and I was very hungry. It was 8 or 8:30 in the night. I called up and said, I'm very hungry. I'm coming home. My daughter was, she said, she made chapatis and kept ready for me. She was very small that time. Okay. But, it touched me a lot, saying that, there is so much of realization in the children also,
Yes.
So these are some of the emotional moments
that you have
I have in this long journey. But thanks to my family and the extended family and whoever have helped me, to manage this career and complete it successfully,
Absolutely. It makes so much sense. We've known, now we know Vidya Baliga as someone who has learned so much from her childhood and has put it into her present profession, also her profession. Now we want to know, what aside all these things does she love to do outside, all these very constructed world? What do you love to do? You said cooking is one of them. What other things do you love to do?
See, now that I have retired, okay, there were a lot of things on my to-do list.
Okay.
Okay, which I did not have the time to do when I was working.
Okay.
It could be because of professional as well as personal reasons. But now, once I retired, I traveled to London, and it was a real good experience because I had just retired, no official commitments. It was a very most enjoyable period in my life. And my mom, who is a writer, I couldn't devote much time to her to listen to the poems or essays that she would write. But then she had compiled lot of poems on Lord Ram, which I helped her publish a book. And then our house, which my father-in-law built, around 53 years back, we just renovated in time for his centenary celebrations.
Wow.
Okay, these are but I now that I have completed just 6 months, I'm learning to relax, and on the lighter side, I think I want to learn the art of doing nothing and relaxing. So jokes apart, but yes, I would like to take up on my hobbies which I learned during my childhood. The campus aunties who teach us bag making, embroidery, cross stitch, stringing flowers, all these things, So I'm very interested in that. So to some extent I've taken it up. And also I have now enrolled myself in the Gita Parivar to learn chanting of Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
And see, my initial years in the campus have shaped my personality.
Yes.
My career has made me what I am today with lot of sweet memories. But now I would like to create memories for others.
Yes.
Okay. But I do need some guidance and opportunity for this because I am still new to this. But I am trying to live a life of purpose now. And I would like to do whatever gives me immense joy and satisfaction. Yes, that's how I'm planning to spend this phase in my life. And also, traveling is on my bucket list.
I'm so glad.
And then, all these years I had to sacrifice attending the family gatherings because it means traveling to Mangalore or Karwar, those places where my extended family stays. But now I make it a point to visit the attend the functions so that I can meet up with all my family members. Yes.
It has been such a thoughtful conversation with you, where I think the main core or crux about what you're trying to convey is never let go of any relationships that you make throughout your life. Teamwork, which is again a part of building relationships in life at a workplace, is also so important. And the value systems that you carry back from your childhood is something you can carry forward. And your career does not end the day you give it up, but it's a new beginning to a new chapter.
Yes.
Before we wrap up this session, I would want to know from you, is there something in specific that you would want to tell each and every one of us before we start our journey into the corporate world? What is it that, one mantra or something which is very important for us to, have it at the back of our head every time we do something? What is it that you would want to share?
See, what I would like to share based on my experiences, to build a successful career. Okay, it's not just one mantra, but I would just like to share my thought process based on my experience. Okay, so I think we should be passionate enough about whatever we do. I think that is the main mantra you can say, so that you bring out the best in yourself. Okay. And the second thing is value relationships, nurture and value relationships, as I've already explained.
Yes.
Okay. And in the digital age, there is a fine line between your personal life and professional life. Try to always have it separate, and enjoy the best of both the worlds when you are in it. Okay. And some of the tips that I would like to give is, financial prudence is very much required. These days, there are plenty of ways to spend money, but think of that and, have conviction in self. And, be dedicated and smart working. I think this will take you a long way in your career. One more thing what I wanted to share with you was find me time for yourself. Because you are so busy in building your career, but we definitely need some me time to declutter and de-stress ourselves, and also to take up some new hobbies, or to develop on your hobbies, or learn some new skills, or take up some new online courses which will aid your professional journey.
Yes. Learning.
Yeah, continuous learning is a must in today's world.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Thank you so much. And I think the biggest learning that I have learned from all the podcasts we have done so far, and every single woman I've spoken to, the only thing that they've said is be passionate about the work you do. That's one commonality. And I think that's what gets us out of bed every single morning to
Yes.
go and do the work you're doing. Thank you for spending this wonderful time with us today. And it was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in onto another inspiring episode on VinTalks.